Hey folks, Kiltman here. Kiltman at your services. How are you all? I hope you're all doing very, very well. Yes, we're now doing the update on Kiltman's teeth. Yes, his fangs, his molars. And what happened after the last video? The very last video I did, which was today, was pre-going to an emergency dentist. Yeah. I'm not going to go into all the details about how this transpired because there's a couple of videos there to go back and wax lyrical and just sit back and enjoy the agony that Kiltman was in, for he was in such agony. Well, I got the emergency dentist appointment for 2 o'clock this afternoon. 2 o'clock, a few hours ago now, at the Woodchurch Dental Centre. Now that's right smack bang in the centre of the Woodchurch estate. It's like a great big spiral, and you go in on yourself and come out your own exhaust, and it's there in the epicentre of a estate where you can go and get the teeth kicked out of your face for nothing. Any day, any night, any morning, any time of day you like. 24/7. The scally's waiting to boot the shite out of you. And it's right there. Do a roaring trade, obviously. So, anyway, I had this back molar on the top here. There. And giving me some serious jip. And obviously I couldn't get a dentist until, well, the next appointment available for me was April the 17th. For the love of sweet Jesus Christ. Can it last that long? So I phoned up the emergency helpline and they were brilliant. Truly brilliant. And I said this in the last video, I know. And they said, 2 o'clock is your appointment. They're going to give you a text to let you know it's confirmed. And then they're going to phone you to give you the actual time. And bingo, all that happened. Brilliant. So 2 o'clock, now we gets there and Mrs. Kiltman's driving me. As I've always said, I don't like being beholden to anyone, and it's only in times of dire extremis that I would even fall back on Mrs. Kiltman, my own wife, to try and transport me from hither to yon. I wouldn't do it. Unless I can get there under my own steam, I really will not do it unless I absolutely have to ask someone else. So I did. I asked her, and so yeah, she did. She drove us out there, and she weren't happy about going there, to be honest. She was, I might stay in the car because who knows what's going to happen around here. No, it was fine. So we pulled up there and it was 1:45. So well, get there early because there's about to be a form to fill in about your health and all that shite and all that kind of thing. So, but they didn't open until 2 o'clock. My appointment was at 2, but they had their lunch break. How dare they? Dentists, lunch breaks, emergencies, from 1 till 2, lunch break. So a little queue had formed, and we were looking at this place. I thought, they're actually queuing up, aren't they? Oh my God, don't tell me. They're all scheduled for 2 o'clock, and it's just first come, first serve. Oh no, let's get out the car, let's get there now. And in front of us was 2 ladies. Well, one older lady, one much younger lady. And they had one of those dogs, which is, it's got a little coat on it, which says it's, oh God, not a companion. It's an emotional companion, an emotional partner. So it's got to go wherever that person goes. Now you guys know me and dogs, and wolves and bears, and the husky that's over there right now. I know 1,000,001 dogs, and every dog in the world loves me, except for that bastard dog, which didn't like me at all. So we waltz up there, and we're next after them because they were a couple with this dog, and it's going for me. No, he weren't an aggressive dog. It wasn't an XL bully or a Rottweiler or a German Shepherd. It wasn't none of them. It was, I'm not sure what it was, to be honest, but it weren't what you'd say was that's a killer, that's a man eater. No, weren't that at all. But it's going for me, and the younger one, who, because she's from that area, couldn't resist. Oh, she's a fucking bitch, don't fucking worry about her. Just never seen a fucking guy in there. What is that you're wearing there? What's that? for I was wearing a kilt, obviously. Not too dissimilar from this one. It wasn't this one, and I wasn't wearing this t-shirt either, because I've come out and I've since had a bath and re-wardrobed myself. And yeah, just haven't seen a guy in a fucking one of them, whatever that fucking thing is. I'm going like a kilt, and I thought, my face is out there, it's throbbing. Do I really need this shit now as well? And I went, look, I've got dogs. I've had dogs all my life. You know, there's no reason why this thing should be going against me. Oh, it's just because you look dead different. Oh, fucking hell. Anyway, 2 o'clock comes, door opens. Hello, everybody. Come in now. And they sat down. Me and Mrs. Kiltman sat down. And then, like, because I was the emergency dude, never seen before, fill out these forms. Well, I knew that was going to happen. So I just fucking scratched it all the way, like in Evil Dead, you know, where she's doing the automatic writing. The demons are making it scratch across, and she draws the face of the book of the dead, the Necronomicon, and gave it back in. These went in. Dentist come out, so and so, and these 2 women and the dog. The dog was in there as well. And you know, the dog's proved itself to not be perfectly compos mentis with other people. So, you know, but anyway, didn't hear no screaming or caterwauling or growling. So everything apparently went all right. And then straight away, yeah, yours truly got called in. I took my combat jacket off, for I did think I was going into warfare. And it could be my final last stand. So I took the jacket off and said, Mr. Kiltman, just look after that. My phone's in there, my last will and testament's in there, and there's a few dog treats in there. So if that dog comes out before I do, appease it with those. And then the woman, she was the assistant dentist, she went, oh, your mother can come in as well. She didn't say that. She said, you can come in as well if you want. And I went, oh, well, right, come in, and hold my hand. Yep, Kiltman. Ex-Royal Marine Commando, Avenger of many sins, the Equalizer, a guy people have called upon to do things that no one else could. Took his wife in with him to the dentist, who sat there. You're doing really well. Like when I was there, when she was giving birth, and I'm going, and then I see what's happening, and I go, ooh. But it was nice to have her there, to be perfectly honest. And he said, look, okay. They tapped around all the teeth to get, yeah, that feels okay, that feels okay. Wanted to know how I felt about it. I explained everything. And right, yeah, that's the rogue molar, that's the bastard that's causing all the grief. Right, okay. And I went through the whole history of how it got worse today, when I couldn't bite down, so I couldn't chew, couldn't eat, couldn't do none. And it was just, you touched it, it was like thunderbolt. And I went, okay, right, what it could be a lot of things. I said, well, I've looked at it and it's grey black. And she went, no, it isn't. That's your old amalgam filling from however many years ago. And I went, oh, you mean it's not diseased? She said, well, we'll take an x-ray, but I don't think it's diseased. It looks like a perfectly healthy tooth. So what you were seeing was just the amalgam filling, which is quite a big one. And you don't remember getting that done? I said, to be honest with you, no, I don't. And anyway, so they took an x-ray. They put that stupid thing in your gob, which goes a bit further back. You begin to gag on it. You're going to bite down. Well, that was a difficulty. Just try to do it. Come on. And they're coaxing it. There's 2 of them, 2 females. Lovely. And a third, if you count Mrs. Kiltman as a female. The jury's still out on that. But she was sat there. Go on, you can do it. Go on, you can do it. And so I did that. And they took an x-ray immediately. God, times have changed. The last time I had an x-ray on my gob, you have to sit there on this strange, bizarre thing and go, And this machine went around your head. That way. And then that way. And then probably did it again for good measure. And but this was just done in seconds. It's like, wow, that's pretty impressive. And then they went out the room and they come back and they went, nothing wrong with your tooth at all. There's no infection. There's no abscess. There's nothing that we can see. The root looks fine. So they were like, and I hate that. That has plagued me and Mrs. Kiltman all of our together lives. Anything a house needed doing, a car needed doing, anything we needed to have done, the expert would come out and go, never seen this before. And you just go, oh shit. Well, they weren't quite like that, but the main dentist, who was a younger girl, she went, look, I'm going to go and get another dentist in, the more experienced one. And I thought, oh shit, here we go. And this other guy comes in, and he was great. He was dead thought. He went, he did all the teeth again. He got the mirrors out there, checked everything, pushed, prodded, did all sorts, as she had done. And he went, right, look, seen the X-ray, there's nothing wrong with that. The tooth is healthy. So I'm thinking you've got a crack or a fissure inside the tooth, but behind that filling, and the filling was at the front of the tooth. I went, okay. He said, right, but to find that out, we're going to have to drill out that old filling. Okay, right. And then we might not even find a crack or a fissure there. Okay, what happens then? Well, then we may have to look at another avenue, but the end thing to do is to, extraction. Not the Chris Hemsworth movies, but a pure toothal extraction. And I went, okay, whatever, just do whatever you got to do. He went, okay, you're okay with that? I said, yeah, I'm fine with that. But first we're going to drill out that filling and then see what's behind there, which could be the real root cause. And anyway, so they did that, and I got the mask on, the goggles, and they got the visor on, and then this is under the water, and like, and as Mrs. Kiltman can testify, I was shaking like a leaf. Again, look, been stabbed, I've been bottled, I've been through lots of ordeals. I've always come out, on top of these events. But when you're lying basically, almost upside down, and you've got a kilt on as well, and you're sweating because this could be your last, and you're shaking, and you've got people in your gob. One's pumping water in, and one's drilling and got a mirror in there, and they're holding this part of your mouth open. And just raise your left hand if you're in distress. And I kept on doing that, not because it was hurting, but because it was just, I was drowning in the water. But also, get your fingers off. You're hurting that tooth and me lip. But I know you have to do it. Oh, and let's go on to the injections and the anaesthetics. Oh yeah, we're going to have to inject you, but it's a tiny little scratch. That's all you're going to feel. Well, the one that went into the gum, I didn't feel at all. The one that went into the roof of my mouth, I felt slightly, and it's brilliant. And then, but I remember, obviously I've had fillings before, and I kind of got this sort of race memory came back to me, and I thought, oh yeah, you start going numb really quickly. But you feel it going that way. No, I didn't feel myself going numb. And I was able to talk whenever they asked me a question. From that point onwards, I was actually great with it. Oh my God. And you can hear it. She's drilling this thing out, excavating. And then prodding around the little hooked thing. Again, telling me the tooth is really healthy, which is exactly not what I thought it was. I thought it was the exact opposite. That it's horribly diseased and, it's affected everything in your mouth. But no, apparently not. So they drilled everything out, and then right now we're going to put the and they're using. Do you remember I mentioned the actor, comedian, performer, and darling of quiz shows, and they go fishing together. Bob Mortimer and Paul Whitehouse was the guy's name I couldn't remember in the other video. Paul Whitehouse, and it's a lovely two old guys. They are now getting together and going fly fishing all around the UK in different rivers and lochs and on the coast sometimes, and then staying in bizarre places, and it's just camaraderie. But Bob Mortimer, part of Vic Reeves and Bob Mortimer, Vic and Bob, is one of the greatest geniuses of British comedy for the last 20, 30 years. Well, he did this thing on the TV quiz show, Would I Lie to You, where he said, I do my own DIY dentistry. And then the other celebrity panel have to ask him questions. And he goes more and more preposterous with whatever he says. But basically, he wasn't lying. And he mentioned the stuff, you got to use Fuji 9. That's the stuff that you make fillings out of, Fuji 9. So they said, like, well, you've got an old amalgam filling in there, but we're going to replace it with, and she talked to the guy at Fuji, yeah. And I went, is that Fuji 9? And he went, yeah, how'd you know that? So I went, well, Bob Mortimer does it. And they're going like, who's Bob? And who's Mortimer? I tried to explain, but they were like, yeah, none the wiser. But anyway, shut up. Get your gob open, lean back. We're going to do this now. So it went in. And everything was... There was no more drama. I was trying to think of some other major incident, but there wasn't. And then we're all done. Oh, there was a moment where, like, don't shut your mouth at any point now, because I'm fitting this in. Push, chiseling it and moulding it and like all that shenanigans. And I was like, your gob starts hurting because it's like, and then finally we were done. Oh, didn't feel a thing. Well, am I cured then? Is that it? Well, there's no guarantees in dentistry. Oh. How long is this anaesthetic going to last? Oh, another hour to an hour and a half. Okay, so after that time, if I start feeling pain again, am I in trouble? Has this failed? Well, no, you're going to feel a bit of pain anyway, because, we've messed around, we've hit everything, we've bashed and done all sorts. So the nerves are going to be twanging. I put that word in it. That wasn't a dentistry terminology. You're going to feel something for maybe, a couple of days. But if it lasts for more than, like, let's say 4 or 5 days, you've got to, or if it gets worse, you've got to phone back the emergency and, I might not go back there. You've got to find someone else who can take you at that particular time and explain what's happened, and, and then they'll deal with it. But, it should be all right. I think I found the crack, but it was only a small crack. But it's enough to, I couldn't bite down this morning, which was a new development after the days of toothache. And the thing is, folks, I'm taking them saying, like, it's still going to be sore and a bit tender, because I'm biting down now. I had a bit of a mope and a moan earlier. I went, it's not fucking worked, because the anaesthetic's worn off, and like I can feel this now again, and it's still only it clearly isn't as bad, because I'd have been doing shit. No, I can push down to a much greater degree than I could, but the jury's out as yet. Now we come back home. Oh, before that, before you're all thinking like emergency dentist. Oh my God, that's going private. This is what I thought. It's going to cost you a fortune. So he comes out, and I've been told by the girl on the dentist emergency hotline thing, who was really good, did a triage on me over the phone, and was dead soothing, and she was like dead sympathetic. It's what you want to hear, like. And she went, by the way, it'll be £23 and I think 10 pence when you go in. And I was okay, and then I thought, well, obviously that's just going there. Then you're going to get your treatments and fucking whatever else happens. So it's going to be astronomical. So he comes out and we go to the front desk. Hello, Christopher. Because it's what you're known as, officially, bloody Christopher. Should be Kilt-Man, for God's sake. No, Christopher. Are you okay, Christopher? Well, yeah, because I was numb as fuck. Like, that's a weird thing, because suddenly the numbness was setting in, and all of this side of my face, you know, and even my nose was going numb. All the deed had been done, but suddenly now I was feeling like, you know, like, and so, well, how much is that then? And she went, that's £23 and 10 pence. Me and Mrs. Kilman looked at each other like, what? That's for everything. She went, well, yeah. Went, and I should never argue. Just, okay, right. Here's my card. Bonk. Pay for it. Run. But he went like, are you sure about that? I've just had an X-ray and da-da-da-da. And she went, no, it's an emergency. That's what we charge for emergencies. Then again, you know, in the Woodchurch estate, that's all they probably get is emergencies 24/7. And I'm joking again, not really. And so that's all it was, £23 and 10 pence. Sweet Jesus. Now, as I say, I'm yakety yak right now, and I feel quite okay, because when we come back, I was told you can't eat for another hour and a half, because that's when you wait till the anaesthetic wears off. And to be honest, I haven't eaten at all, and it's now, it's many hours afterwards. And it wasn't my dog walking day. Mrs. Kiltman's been amazing, because it's her, she works part-time, it's her day off today, so on her days off, I don't walk the husky. Again, he's fast asleep right there. I don't walk the husky on those days, or shouldn't do. It's her turn. And so she went, okay. And she'd driven me out there and waited for it, held me hand and all that. Like, I said, you were very brave. I said, tell me the truth, I was shaking, wasn't I? And she went, you were very brave. But yes, you were shaking. Anyway, so she's done a lot of driving around and stuff, and you know, and she's got other things to deal with as well, which don't include me, but stuff that she's got to deal with. And she's been great. So she come back home, well, with me, obviously, didn't leave me there going, oh. And she went, I'll take the dog out now. And I was like, okay, fine, great. I kept my jacket on then, and she must have known what I was doing. And so the minute she walked out with the dog, went across the drawbridge, and she broke left. Normally me and the dog break right, and we go across the cuddy fields, across all the tenants, and we look at all them, and we wave to them, and we normally spit at them as well. Where's your rent, you bastards? Come on now. And I gave it a couple of minutes. Right, she's gone around the corner. Right, brilliant, that's it. And I legged it out, and I went to Telegraph. And my gob had gone completely numb by this stage, like a long drawn out effect. And I walked into the telly, and Sandy behind the bar, she went like, hello love, two in the one. That means 2 large whiskies in the one glass, which normally means I've got the dog with me. So dog's on the lead, I can't carry 2 whiskies, obviously, in one hand. Maybe some of you can, but I can't. So you get the 2 of them in the one glass. Looks really impressive. But I didn't have the dog with me. I just went, yeah. I kind of went like, yeah. She went, you all right? And I went, well, I've just been to the dentist. She went, oh my God, right? So I told her about that. And some of the lads who were in there were the ones who were telling me emergency dentists to go to around the Whittle. But they all gave me different stories and different prices, and they were all way off the mark. And I didn't need any of them. Well, I'm saying that right now. Let's see how I am in the morning. And so got me whiskey and sat down, talked to a few other people. But I knew I couldn't be long, because Mrs. Kiltman, I didn't want to rub her nose in it. Oh God, you're meant to be taking it easy, and you went straight out, went to the pub, drank whiskey, you bastard. You know, they didn't tell me I couldn't drink whiskey, so just said I couldn't eat. So I drank that, natter, and then went round to the cask. More natter, and 2 more large whiskies. But I did drink them quickly, and I did come back, and I did miss. Mrs. Kiltman was here just before me. So I was like, I get my keys out, and she went, the door opened, and I went, oh. And she went, yeah. What a surprise. How's it feeling? And I said, well, to be honest, it's beginning to come through now. the anaesthetic's worn off, and now I'm beginning to feel a bit more pain. And that, folks, is sadly where we are right now. I mean, I'm not sure I can chew too well at the moment. I mean, I'm dying to have some beef, some steak. Got plenty of it, and I know the dogs are waiting it as well, but normally we share it. But I don't know, so I might leave off the food for tonight, and hopefully have a breakfast tomorrow, something substantial. Give it time to bed in, because there's a whole new filling there now, and there was the crack behind the filling, which he said wasn't big, which makes me think, you sure that was the genuine root cause of the whole thing? You know, I think that was probably it, because as you crunch down, you know, it's gonna move, it's gonna sort of like widen the crack and hit the nerve. I was thinking that, oh, the tooth's loose. She went, your tooth is not loose. Your tooth is very healthy. So there you go, folks. I thought this stuff had been eroding my gums and my teeth. I genuinely thought that. Well, apparently not. So drink up. No, probably it probably doesn't help things. But anyway, just wanted to keep you in the picture, in the loop. Although my face doesn't tell it, but I'm losing weight drastically, and I'll put it back on again very quickly. This is what happens if you, whatever the reason you might be, you could be fasting, you could be just going on a health kick, or stress, or illness, lack of appetite has denied you, all your nutrients, and you will lose weight. Well, I know that it definitely works for me, that sort of thing. I'm not saying it's the best course of action, but certainly the last few days, being not able to eat and being super stressed out, my weight's dwindled down. And the repercussion of that, I haven't done any weights. So I'm shrinking, and I hate that. Whereas the face still looks like a big fucking pumpkin, but the rest of me is like, I want the big arms, I want the big pumped up chest, I want the big fucking shoulders, and I want all of that. But I ain't got any of that right now. But the thing is, if you lose weight quite drastically, you can put it on very drastically. And you've got a problem there. If you start like, right, appetites come back, and I want my teeth are working. Food, wait, food, wait. And you can just explode, because you kick the hormones in a completely new sort of equilibrium, like the fucking CERN bloody cylinder thing, whatever it's doing, pumping atoms at each other at a gazillion miles an hour. But that's what happens to your body. So suddenly, what, and you're great, but it doesn't know when to stop. Then you've got to tell it when to stop by reconfiguring your diet and all that. It's a complex thing, A little, stop out from a fucking piece of shit like this. I was hoping they'd just go like, look, Kilt-Man, what the hell is this? You've got half a cigar wedged in your... There you go. Have that. Light it, smoke it, fuck off. That's still £23.10 then. So again, I will reiterate the moral of all of this. Look after your teeth, and really, for fuck's sake, keep your dentist. I know in the UK it's a nightmarish scenario right now. If you haven't got a dentist, you are going to struggle to get one. I envisage things turning around. I think the government, oh God, why am I even going to say these words? The government is trying to do a big, huge new push and directive to get the bloody dentist to take on more people. But the simple, sad fact of the matter is, the dentists who are taking on NHS patients don't get paid as much. In fact, they make a loss on NHS patients. This is why they don't, I don't want any more of them. I'm just going to do private patients. Otherwise, I'm cutting my own throat. Come on now, as much as we hate that, and you think, oh, you bastards, I don't want to. There's a reason for it. They're not making any money. If they're not making any money, then why are they going to do the bloody job? You want them to be happy in their job, so they're not going to fuck around inside your gob, if you should ever get to see one. So it's a catch-22 scenario. But if you've got a dentist, for God's sake, don't do what I did. Don't renege, don't walk out. Go for the fillings they tell you that you meant to have. That's a weird thing, because I'm sure the fillings I was recommended was for exactly there. Now I've got a filling for there. That just got drilled out and replaced. I don't know. It's such a long time. It's 10 years since I've been to a dentist, and that's when I had the whole debacle and refused to go again. And then got, that's it. Scratch him off all lists. He no longer exists in our dojo. That's it. So look after your dentist, and hopefully they will look after you. But yeah, this is a work in progress. I don't think I'm out the woods yet. I don't. But I'm hoping that the pain I'm getting right now, the little dull ache, which is nowhere near what it was. It's not. It just isn't at the moment. I hope that's just this new filling and settling down, anchoring in, and all the pushing and toing and froing that's happened in me gob. Don't make up your own version of that. It's just like sort of bruising. So you have to use the word, like it's like your mouth will be like a bruise now. Imagine it, and I've had fucking millions of bruises. Imagine a really deep fucking walloping bruise where the knuckles have gone in, and you've crushed a fair bit of like skin and muscle as well, and the ligaments have gone like that, and you go all the colours of the devil's rainbow, and all the mouldy cheese, sort of colours as well. That is like that, but in your mouth. So yeah, you've got to expect a bit of discomfort. So folks, I did not get the extraction that everyone was thinking I was going to get. Although, let's not rule it out just yet, because if it doesn't work out, that's the next step. Actually, there's a step before that, which Mrs. Kilton said, oh no, there's something else before that. And I was like, shit, what was that? Oh God. If in doubt, just take it out. God. But as he said, if the tooth is good, don't lose it, because them back ones, they're your chewers. That's where you get all the proper juice out of the meat and all that. Like, what, providing you're a meat eater? If you're not, what the hell is wrong with you? My daughter's up there, probably just heard me say that as well, because she's a strict non-carnivore. Oh well, Cheers, y'all. Anyway, folks, that's the latest on this. Now, I'm really hoping that from tomorrow I'll get back into doing some proper videos, with some genuine content. Not just about the contents of my gob, which really isn't that fascinating. Ow. Was the slug of whiskey a bit too much there? Shouldn't be. Should be way used to that. Oh, we're going to see on this. But I'm keeping my fingers crossed. And please, if you want more videos, you want more proper stuff, you pray as well, because otherwise, if this gets worse, and like, oh my God, we did something wrong. We implanted something in there. You're now a hybrid. Oh my God, it was experimental Fuji 9 formula. God, in fact, it was Fuji 10 we put in there. Doesn't work with gingers. Right, I'm out of here. Folks, in the meantime, in this ever shooting the breeze, shooting the shit, shooting the teeth out of your own mouth to stave off the agony in between time, please keep it kilted, keep it Celtic, and I am going to see you all with a howl and a yowl. And yes, it was American Werewolf in London from Elmer Bernstein playing behind this. I thought, something with fangs and teeth, and does a werewolf ever break a fang off? Does it? Does it do that? If it bites down hard on something completely, really uncrunchable? Does it lose a fang? Does it become evidence in the police search? When it returns to human form, has it lost half its teeth? You look at the howling, we see the teeth coming out. In fact, you see it in American Mill. The teeth are coming out and replaced by fangs. So, what happens? The whole reverse thing? The fangs come out and then the teeth come back? It's never really addressed, is it? The re-transformation back to human is never really properly addressed. What about all the people they've eaten? It's inside them. Does the human then have the shits the next day? American Wolf eating hobos on the banks of the Thames. That's going to be slightly disagreeable, I think. Do you not? And the werewolf isn't that particularly picky. He chews through clothes as well. So you're going to have bits of fucking cloth and parkas and hats and, you know, all sorts of stuff going in there. Can't do any favours, can it? So I think werewolves need a very, very special dental care treatment. Anyway, please, let's just get out of here. Because we're just drifting now. Drifting. Like the elements of my former filling. Drifting down that little pan, which were whisked out by that little mini hose they put into your gob that makes you gag.